Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So here's my Q&A for episode 9, and then also, I guess, kind of going into episode 10. Thank you for everybody who posted your questions. If you want to take part in these Q&As, definitely go follow me on Discord. The link is down below. If for some reason the link isn't working, you can just go on Discord and search up the thing, because it is public. So it's Appetite for the Dead. That's the username. It's the same name as my Twitch, but yeah. Thank you for posting all of your questions. I mean, there's a lot there. I'll just say that there's a lot there that you can do on Discord if you haven't joined yet and you're sort of on the fence about joining in general. I mean, there's a lot of different servers, or not servers, but a lot of different channels there, a lot of things with The Walking Dead. People are constantly discussing things in there. I mean, there's a lot of people in there all the time talking about everything Walking Dead related. There's also a channel for like the Walking Dead AMC cable release. So if you don't want to talk about anything in the AMC Plus release channel, then you can just talk about things in the AMC cable channel. This way you're not really spoiled of anything. And yeah, you can basically just sort of avoid spoilers overall. There's a Fear the Walking Dead thing. Actually, I should change. Actually, no, it's still season 7. So yeah, there's Fear the Walking Dead. Tales of the Walking Dead is something that we just recently opened up about a month and a half ago already. But there's some Rick movie discussions. There's Walking Dead comic discussions. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, there's a lot of NHL talk. There's NFL talk as well. There's a lot of things here. The Last of Us, Game of Thrones, anime, Star Wars, DC, Marvel. Like, anyways, there's a lot there. So definitely, if you haven't joined yet, I really recommend doing so. I hope to see you guys there. There's a Q&A channel, like I said, and you can post all your questions in there. And that's where I'm getting my questions for this. So obviously, before we go any further, I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers for The Walking Dead season 11, episode 9. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. But let's actually get into the first question here. So this is sort of in regards, I guess, to what we saw at the end of episode 9. And this question is from Sarka on Discord. You said that you think Daryl is working as a spy. Why do you think that might be? Since it's pretty much confirmed that the Commonwealth and CRM are connected, do you think that the relationship between the Commonwealth and Alexandria might lead them towards finding out about the CRM and possibly Rick? Can it be the reason for all of that? You know, I could definitely see that being something, at least on the last part of your question there, I can see that being something that, you know, leads them to finding out about Rick, right? Because, like, obviously the Commonwealth had no idea Alexandria existed, right? It's one of those things that it's, you know, they're sort of learning of the community for the first time. But it's possible that through records and stuff, Carol will find out that, oh, they already knew Alexandria existed, or like the CRM knows of Alexandria, right? How do they know? And then she eventually finds out, oh, it's through Jadis. How does Jadis know? She's still alive? And then I think through there could be some more revelations about Rick in general. You know, maybe Rick has crossed paths with the Commonwealth or with certain people, you know, obviously in the Civic Republic. And there could be some records there about where he's from, about Alexandria, and that's what Carol and them could find out. So I could definitely see how there could be, you know, even if what I said isn't true, obviously there's a lot of connection there. Like, you could, like, we're starting to see it now. They're starting to slowly reveal things here. It seems like the way everyone's going to find out about Rick's survival is going to be through the Commonwealth arc. It's going to be because they have a connection to the CRM. And yeah, there's going to be some connecting of the dots here, right? Like, it's not going to happen right away, but I do believe Carol's on the right path. Once we find out a little bit more information, you know, once we see a scene where Carol or some character sees the CRM and they're like, what the hell? What is that? You know, that's when we're going to be like, okay, here we go. It's about to happen. And then on the first part of your question there, you said, you think Daryl's working as a spy. Why do you think that might be? Well, I mean, I don't know if I said I thought he was working as a spy in that sense. If I said that, I was more in reference to the final scene where he's dressed up as a Commonwealth soldier, right, going into the hilltop. I just basically mean that he's not all evil and on the Commonwealth side, right, going into the hilltop and being like, oh, Maggie, like, you're screwing around here. You're not following orders. So I'm coming in here and taking what I want. Like, he's not that kind of person. And I don't care what the Commonwealth offers. He will never, even if he thinks Maggie's wrong, I don't see Daryl ever not siding with Maggie, you know, or even trying to hurt her in that way. That there's no way, like, oh, he loves her too much, right? So I think what's happening here is they've already made a plan here. I don't know why the Commonwealth are showing up at their doors here. You know, I think that it could be something to do with trying to get Maggie to budge on certain things. you know, trying to do some sort of, I don't know, trying to get the residents maybe to agree, or maybe try to do some sort of election there to get to remove Maggie from power at the hilltop so that they can actually take over, because they clearly want the hilltop, right? It seems like Alexandria will willingly bend to the Commonwealth because everyone's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. But Maggie seems to be like, no, we're not doing that. We're keeping this place, and we're just going to have this place for ourselves. We do not need your help at all. And so I think that's what Maggie's doing. And so Maggie seems to be the one that is fighting back. And honestly, I think that's going to make me like her a lot, because I think I would side with her in all of this. And that's what I mean by Daryl, I think, understands all of that. And I think he's just sort of put in a position where he can't act like he's on Maggie's side because of something that could happen to him at the Commonwealth. So I think he's acting like this for this thing. I think him and Maggie have communicated and worked something out prior to his arrival. And so it depends on why they're there. But yeah, I definitely, I don't think it's like a Maggie versus Daryl situation. I think they're both on the same side in the scene. Queen Karama says, what is Leah going to do? She is going to do something, maybe come across Negan. Is that why the show, or let her live? I do think, I don't know if she's going to come across Negan. I don't know who she's coming across. I don't know what's next for Leah. I'm really excited that she's still out there. And I mean, honestly, I don't really have an issue with the fact that we know she's still out there, because with the way they ended her story in episode 9, she got shot. And then Daryl was like, all right, just run, just leave. I'll give you like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever the hell he said. And so it kind of made sense. Like, you know, I think the question for us would have been like, well, you know, obviously Leah's still alive. So like, what happens next for her? Is she joining the group later on this season? Or is the next time we're going to see her going to be in the Daryl and Carol spinoff? Well, now we know she's actually going to be a part of the story later on. And I do think she'll probably be in the Daryl and Carol spinoff as well. At this point, I don't see them killing Leah off, because that was the scene where you could have done it. It was the end of the Reaper arc. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? A lot of people like Lynn Collins. She's a really great actress. Leah is such a great character, and she's a newer character. She's literally a season 10 character. I kind of associate her as more of a season 11 character, a final season character, but she's a really great character with such a crazy introduction, right? She's the first love interest, really, or first person Daryl fell in love with on The Walking Dead. So I think keep her around for a while. I think, you know, having her in the Daryl and Carol spinoff, if you want to explore more of a relationship there, because it doesn't seem like Daryl and Connie are happening. Like, to me, it just doesn't seem like it's happening. Like, just based off of that scene in episode 9, like I thought he was going to be like crying and reacting like, whoa, you're still alive. And so like, you know, and then it ended up just being more like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, patted her on the shoulder. Like, he was happy afterwards. And like, I think afterwards, the reaction he had was more appropriate. Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're just going to be so happy and talking to her and just big smiles, right? But it was that first reaction. It was just so off. It was so just like, what? I liked when he dropped the apples. That was a big thing. It was just like right after that, right after he dropped the apples, to like, as soon as he starts to kind of talk to her about things, you know, it's just, that's the part that I had an issue with. I think it should have been a little more emotional, because like, I don't know, if he's all crazy about her, it didn't really seem like it there. It seemed kind of like they were just really good friends. And I, you know, that's sort of my worry with Daryl. I will say right now, like, I don't think the writers really want to commit to anything with Daryl, right? They never committed to Daryl and Carol before. It doesn't seem like they're committing to Daryl and Connie now. Like, I think we're now, I'll see in episode 10, because it's been several weeks, but like in those several weeks, if Daryl and Connie aren't together in that episode, then yeah, what the hell? I mean, I guess they're just not going to end up together. Like, that's basically kind of where, for me personally, I'm waiting. I want to see if in episode 10, if Daryl and Connie are actually together, because it's been a, you know, several week time jump. It's been weeks after he found out that she was alive, and they're living in this whatever place now. It makes sense that maybe they would actually kind of be together now. And if they're not together, then yeah, that basically confirms to me that there's something there, and Daryl just really cares about her. They're really good friends. Maybe he has these feelings, but it's just not going to go forward. You know, they're not going to do anything with Daryl and Connie. And that honestly could just be a lot of different things. It could be the writers just don't want to do that with Daryl. Or, you know, like they don't want to piss off like the carolers, or vice versa, right? So they just want to kind of keep it as neutral as possible. Do you think Negan finds a new love interest in the new group he's in? Personally, I don't think so. I think if anything, that's going to happen more in a spinoff. I think like if they're definitely going to be doing a Negan spinoff at some point in the future, I think that's where they can explore a bit of that. I think they could explore Negan finding some other woman and just being like, you know, having these feelings for her. and then being more conflicted because of Lucille and stuff like that. I could totally see that happening. How do you think AMC will manage to script Rick's return in order to make it have it make sense? And do you think that we will see the Commonwealth intercepting with the CRM, which potentially can hook things up with Rick? And will our group ever meet the CRM? The last part, yeah, they definitely will meet the CRM at some point. And then, yeah, the Commonwealth and CRM, you know, our group sort of like that connection there, that is going to happen. I'm pretty sure it's happening here in part 2. In terms of how AMC is going to manage scripting Rick's return, if he does return in the last episode, it is going to be really hard. It's tricky. And I was kind of thinking about it the other day. You know, I think that could be one thing that they don't give us, right? I think that could be one thing that they actually hold back, which is his return. Because I think if you show Rick in the last episode, I mean, it's not necessarily going to be like, just like, that's enough for fans, right? Like, I don't think fans are just going to be like, okay, well, I saw Rick again. I'm happy about that. I don't care about the movies. You know, like that's not necessarily going to happen. But I do wonder if that's something that they're thinking about, right? And so maybe they do hold off on Rick because they want us to see more of that story. And so that's why I actually wonder if maybe they're not even going to be doing that big 15, 20, 25 year time jump. What if they actually hold off on that for a little bit longer and it's more of like a 5 or 10 year time jump, or maybe like a 5 year time jump, or I don't know. They might not even do a time jump in general at the end. Like, I don't know what they're planning on doing at the very end. I don't know how they're going to script it. I think the Walking Dead comic ending is just so perfect. I don't know how they end it here and have it make sense. I don't want it to end with the Commonwealth story. I think that's really stupid. The Commonwealth story is a nice way to transition over to the actual ending, which is them just sort of living peacefully and sort of seeing how they just live their lives now, how different things are, how, like, at one point in the comic, Carl's like, I haven't seen a walker in years. It's been like 6 years or longer than that, which is just insane, you know? So I want to see those things in the last episode. I don't want to see, like, they defeated Pamela Milton, they took her down, and now Maggie's the leader, this and that, and it ends. You know, I want to see the ending to the overall story. And then the Commonwealth arc could end in like episode 22, 23, but just have the very last episode, you know, the conclusion to everything, to the point of The Walking Dead, going back to the very first episode. Q&A, do you think Carol might give out a warning to Sebastian just like she did to Sam back in season 5 and in episode 10, or on a later episode? In other words, if Carol had some suspicions about the Commonwealth secret and suddenly Sebastian caught her, do you think she would do it? Yeah, definitely. I could totally see it in that situation. If she was caught, Carol would threaten something to Sebastian. And I don't think she's going to win that, though. Sam's different. He didn't really have any power within the community. Sebastian does. Sebastian catches her. Carol can threaten him all I want. He's just going to laugh and go tell his mom. Like, that's just who he is. So, yeah, I can totally see it happening, but I just don't think it's going to go in Carol's favor that time. And the last question here from Beanie, do you think that the next episode will also release at 3 a.m. Eastern on AMC Plus, or was that just a special case because of the Super Bowl? No. It is likely going to be dropping at 3 a.m. Eastern every single Sunday. You know, there was sort of a confusion last Sunday because of that thing that they released where it showed all the times. And I even did a video on that. I even said, like, that could have been some sort of editing error because, you know, they put the times there because that's when it's released on cable. And I think they may have just put the AMC Plus dates on that graph just to show, like, what dates actually premiering in comparison to the AMC cable release. But yeah, that ended up being right. So no, like, they definitely are going to be released at like 3 a.m. Eastern every single Sunday. So yeah, I'm expecting to get it early again this Sunday as well. So I'm hyped for that. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I think I might do another Q&A after this because there's actually quite a bit more questions here that I want to get into. So yeah, thank you guys first of all for posting all of your questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.